Good morning and welcome to ForexTV.com's AM Forex New York. Today is Monday, February 25th. I'm Caitlin Sisney. The pound was on the weak side after the latest home track survey showed UK house prices fell for the fifth consecutive month, and as investors awaited mortgage lending data from the British Bankers Association this morning. Sterling is trading at 196.44. Euro is trading at 148.05 ahead of a speech later today by European Central Bank President Jean-Claude Trichet. The yen fell against all 16 most active currencies as gains in stocks and commodities spurred traders to buy higher-yielding assets with loans made in Japan. Yen is trading at 107.79. The National Association of Realtors report on sales of existing homes in the U.S. for January is scheduled for release at 10 a.m. today. The report is expected to show that existing home sales fell slightly in January from a record low price the previous month, reflecting a rebound-resistant housing market. The December total was the lowest sales pace on record going back to 1999. Today we're joined by Joseph Francomano from Erste Bank. Joseph will give his outlook for the Forex market.
Good morning. This is Joe Francomano at Erste Bank, New York. Today we are opening the New York session with the dollar somewhat stronger than Friday's close, led by the recovery in dollar yen, which is being aided by the recovery efforts of the AMBAC, of the bond insurers. That's given, there's new speculation that the banks are going to come to the rescue of that ailing market. This has given the equities a bit of a bounce. We saw Friday the Dow closed plus 96 on the day after struggling back and forth. That also correlated directly to dollar yen, which had traded to as low as 106. 106.70 or so, 75 in the afternoon in New York. End up closing it around 107.20. We're opening this morning at 107.80. The euro has drifted a bit lower. We're just above some pretty key support at 147.90.95. We're presently at 148.05. There is a whole slew of data for this week, wide-ranging in its scope in the fact that it includes PPI, which is, of course, inflationary, and then you also have new home sales, you also have durable goods, you also have a GD report. So what you're getting is a nice little cornucopia of inflation and growth data for the market to jump into. What this is ultimately going to lead, I believe, to is some heavy volatility, both in the equities and in the stocks, and in the equities, the currencies, and the bonds. We look presently, technically, euro dollar is again on its up march back towards 150 after having failed at the 149.25, 149.5 level 3 times over the last 6 or 8 weeks. However, we are poised again just at the 148 level, where I believe weak U.S. economic data, which will point to a cutting of interest rates yet again by the Fed, will help the euro's cause to try to eventually get above 150. Dollar yen, Japanese exporters have been rumored to be selling dollars yet again. Anything on the 108 handle has been a very good level, very attractive level for the exporters to sell the dollar. I don't believe that's going to change anytime soon. So I would look for opportunities today and this week that in front of the 108, 20, 108.40 levels to sell dollar yen, and look for some weaker U.S. economic data going forward to eventually lead to a test down towards back to 105 or so in the yen. As for today, technically in dollar yen, I see some trendline resistance at around 108.15.20. I do believe, with, say, for instance, some positive economic news out of today's existing home sales report, the dollar could press higher. But again, I do believe that selling the dollar on the rally against the yen is an easier way to make some money in this market as opposed to trying to buy a dip in dollar yen. In the euro dollar, again, I see a pretty strong technical support at 147.90.95. I do believe if we do break that level, again on strong data, that would help the dollar yen as well. The next key support would be around 147.65 or so, 147.5. I do not believe that the euro bulls are going to let the euro collapse at all this week. I do believe with all the data, with all the risk to the dollar, and with all the risk to equities, that being long the euro in hopes of weak data confirming the trade would be the key to a nice move back towards the 149, 150 level. However, today, like I said, it looks like the euro looks a little bit vulnerable to the downside. 147.95 again as being the key technical support. On the upside right now, we have a decent trend line resistance coming in from 148.60, which was the high on Friday. It looks like technically that 148.20, 148.25 could be a short minor term resistance. The European high was 148.30. I think a failure of the euro to go lower today, meaning the failure of it to break significantly below 147.90, will lead to a retest of that trend line, and ultimately the euro should be trading higher by the week's end. Have a great trading day, everybody.
Thank you, Joseph. That's all for your AM Forex New York. I'm Caitlin Cisney. Join us again later today for another update right here on ForexTV.com.